is it? Yep, we are off. Lochmodana has begun. Wait, check out the window. Shantae confirmed for Smash, everybody. Get hype. No, I'm just kidding. But Shantae is confirmed for saving the day, because Scuttletown is under attack by the Ammo Baron. And so now we are going to get a quick taste of just how fast this game can get. It gets that fast. This game is being run in Pirate mode, which is basically the New Game Plus version of this game, where you start with all 5 of the major pirate abilities. One of those abilities, notably, is being able to run really super fast after you work up enough of a dash by walking forward. Though we have some very cool ways around that, which you are going to see many times in this run. There are the biggest glitch of this run, the out-of-bounds glitch, has been banned for this particular tournament, but that doesn't mean it's going to be glitchless. There is one glitch in particular that they're going to be using a lot that just breaks the game into tiny pieces in some places. And so, get ready for some of these areas to go just extremely fast. Lochmodana, right? Oh, unfortunate. Lochmodana, he fails a jump that would have let him skip over a cutscene trigger. So he only loses about a second because he's able to skip that dialogue very quickly. Now we have got some crazy sync going on as they go in to fight the very first boss, the Ammo Baron. This Ammo Baron, he can be extremely trolly if he wants to be. You can see on Amethyst's screen that he did a single charge. Basically, Ammo Baron, oh no, Amethyst, he misses out on a red cannonball. So basically there are 3 possible attacks. The Ammo Baron can charge, the Ammo Baron can shoot a black cannonball, and the Ammo Baron can shoot a red cannonball. The only time you can damage him is if you take his red cannonball and whip it back at him to damage him, which Lochmodana has just done several times. And it can take a while in order to basically get the red cannonball to show up, as Amethyst is unfortunately showing off here. So this will put Amethyst a little bit behind, but it's only by a handful of seconds. It's nothing that can't be made up later throughout the rest of the run. RNG does become a factor in places around the run, but it's not that big of a deal, and it can be mitigated with good play and effective preparation. So for now, Shantae has gotten herself in trouble because she defeated the bad guy who actually turned out to be the government, which is a tale as old as time. So now she's basically under house arrest. So she's going to take a bath in her trap tub. She failed to realize she doesn't actually own a bathtub, and so now she's trapped. I mean, it's a mistake everyone has made, but here it's particularly painful, because now she's the prisoner of the evil pirate Risky Boots. So Lochmodana is coming up on basically a mini-boss. This thing here is a cacklebat, and it contains dark magic. And in order to get the game's true ending, you have to defeat all 20 cacklebats around the world in order to access the game's true ending and true final boss. But here, we will just be dispatching this one cacklebat in very short order, as Lochmodana has just done. And that will be the last time we ever see a cacklebat. Ooh, Amethyst having a little bit of trouble, but he manages to take care of it without too much of a time loss. So that'll be the very last cacklebat we see. So now, there's going to be a little bit of going around Scuttletown, taking care of a few chores. We're going to go see our friend Sky. She's going to give us the library card, and then Lochmodana, he is going to hop down here and do the game's only mandatory save. These 2 runners might be saving for safety in a few places, because if you die, you go back to your last save no matter where it is. But this is the only time the game forces you to save before you are allowed out of this starting area. Lochmodana having a little bit of trouble getting the risky shuffle off, but he makes up for it by getting a lobster tail from the scarecrows. You can see he's charging through all of these enemies, and there's a very brief period of time loss each time he hits one, but they have a good chance of dropping some goodies that can really help you later on in the run, so everybody does it. The trick that he did, I'll get back to it the next time we see it, I suppose. For now, we're going to go into the sewers, and we're going to show off another pretty cool glitch that saves us a lot of time. He needs to get 3 flesh pops, which you can get by killing these snakes. So what he's done there is he has wedged himself. Ooh, that's unfortunate. He's wedged himself in between the ceiling and the snake, and he's able to get a killing blow on the snake multiple times before the snake actually despawns, which, as you can see on Amethyst's screen, you can get multiple drops from a single enemy this way. And unfortunately, he decided to take a chance on a single death from that snake, and he didn't quite get the flesh pops. But it turned out to be okay, because actually both runners had to go a little bit further than they would like in order to get the 3 flesh pops they need to advance. And I don't think either runner was able to get any more than 3 flesh pops, which is unfortunate because food items can be used for animation skips later on in the run. But for now, we're doing a small sequence break. In pirate mode, you're able to get a lot of plot-crucial items before you normally would, which makes the game go a lot more smoothly and reduces a lot of backtracking, and that's what's happening right here with this squid oil. Where are we at money-wise? Looks like 2 characters are roughly the same as far as how much money they have. Money is incredibly vital in this run because they will need to purchase items such as pirate flares, which immediately zap you to the beginning of an area, which is a huge time saver, and they also need it for power-ups, which will make the bosses go a lot faster. So Lochmodana, he is on his way back. He's got 46 gems, and nope, he is not going to take out those ogres. A single charge is not enough to take out those ogres unless you've built up some attack power from hitting other enemies, so mostly we jump over them. Ooh, Lochmodana picks up a monster milk. That's going to be very helpful. Amethyst grabs a pike ball, which will also be useful, but it's not quite as useful as a monster milk. Bento box, not too bad. RNG is alright for both of these runners, I would suppose. Lochmodana's. Ooh, Amethyst picks up another monster milk. That's very impressive. Well done to him. Lochmodana. What is going on that stream? Looks like Lochmodana may have dropped his stream. Something like that. We've got some sort of hang. Nope. Oh, we're back. We're good. Having a little bit of a slideshow going on, but we can watch Amethyst's side, and he did the standard shopping route that most people do, which is to buy 3 pirate flares and a super pike ball. The pirate flares are very useful for quickly getting out of a difficult area, and the super pike ball is almost mandatory against one particular boss that we're going to see in maybe 10-15 minutes time. Now Lochmodana has moved on to Saliva Island. Both runners are now on Saliva Island, which is so named because of reasons you will see. Here, whoops, we've got Twitch and Vinegar right here, 2 girls that I don't think were named in this game at all. Lochmodana whipping the ham, getting the ham stink. And so now that Loch smells like ham, he can move upward and show us why this island is called Saliva Island. So let's see here what he's going to do. Oh, it looks like he tried to get an animation skip, but didn't quite make it. But he does get a second one. You can see that he paused 3 times. That was not a mistake. If you manage to pause 3 times as you're giving the ham stink, it will cause... Ooh, Amethyst. Amethyst, he was trying a different animation skip that is a lot more difficult, but it saves a good amount of time. He also did the 3 pause strat. Basically, it skips an animation after the ham is inhaled, where the Gigalomix here blinks a little bit, saves a handful of seconds, and it's extremely easy to do. And of course, the Gigalomix has filled the pool with his saliva. And that is the gross story of Saliva Island. Now Lochmodana, he is about to hand over a petrify spell to this poor guy, trying to unpetrify his wife. As you can see, things did not quite go as planned. And there goes Nameless Guy forever. Sorry, but... Ooh, Amethyst got close. But now Lochmodana is able to enter the very first dungeon, the Spittle Maze. And he's going to turn around, and he is going to run into this wall and enter a secret dungeon. It is a rendition of the very first Game Boy Color version of the Spittle Maze. So the reason he is here is he is going to pick up a couple of keys, like this one right here. See, the thing about Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, such a beautiful tale. Yes, it's a tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme. The thing about Shantae and the Pirate's Curse is that the small keys that you pick up in dungeons, they are not locked to a specific dungeon. You can pick up a key in one dungeon and use it however many dungeons later you want. So right now, both of these runners are picking up and stockpiling keys so they can skip a very large amount of a very slow dungeon later on. They're also grabbing a handful of gems because shopping is once again absolutely critical to finishing this game in a quick amount of time. Lochmodana, he is now out of the secret dungeon and he's going to move on. This first dungeon, if you have a spare key, it is pretty straightforward. There's a handful of challenges, but nothing that's going to take up a huge amount of time. Lochmodana picks up a bubble shield. That is a very fortunate drop. That is something that is just straight up mandatory against the final boss, unless you are some kind of dodging wizard. But even so, you need a bubble shield if you want to do the most damage in the shortest amount of time. So Lochmodana here, he is going to use that monster milk, which will increase his damage output. And it will allow this fight against the Wetman to go a whole lot faster. You can see, another bubble shield. That's very convenient. You can see both... Oh, Amethyst had a monster milk too, I forgot. Both of these players, they are using their scimitar to sort of pogo stick on top of these two Wetmen. The reason for that is because if you use the scimitar, it will attack both of the Wetmen at the same time, doing a lot of damage. And so here we have Lochmodana going against the boss of the dungeon, the Cyclops plant. Oh, he's dead. Oh, that was fast. No, actually, that was just the first phase of the Cyclops plant. It goes very quickly. The second phase, you can see in both phases, they're basically wedging themselves out. Ooh, he takes a bit of damage there. But it's okay, he takes care of the Cyclops plant very quickly, because that monster milk that he used against the Wetman lasted all the way to this boss. Ooh, and Amethyst picks up a little bit of time by having a better Cyclops plant. So this race has just gotten a little bit closer. These two are not very far apart at all. So I think we're in for a very good race here, as Lochmodana picks up the map to the next island, Spiderweb Island, also known as everyone's favorite island, but especially Turkey's favorite island. I can try to summon Turkey into the commentary to explain why, but I think that will be tough. So we'll just cross that bridge when we get to it. Look at these two. They are maybe 5 seconds apart at this point. I think we might see some sync, maybe see a high five. We will see what happens. Lochmodana has now moved on to Spiderweb Island, which starts out pretty simple, but in a couple of these rooms you can get heavily trolled by ghosts, which just have a tendency to appear in front of you as you're moving. Their appearances are random, but the damage is really annoying because it can knock you all the way down to the bottom of the room. Looks like both players get through it relatively unscathed, as Lochmodana does another sequence break and picks up an item he's going to need several islands from now. And no ghost trolling for Lochmodana in the second room, as he begins everyone's favorite section of the game, Run, Run, Roddy Tops. Jerky, you know I had to do it. It's just not a run if I do not get on your case about Run on Rowdy Tops. Which we're about to see here. You can see it looks sort of like a cutscene because there is no more HUD anymore. That's because Shantae no longer has a health meter, so she can't actually take damage. But she needs to be very careful because if she takes any bit of damage at all, if she gets hit, she will be immediately sent to the beginning of the room, which can be a big time skip. Lochmodana getting lucky against the gatekeeper and has some very nice tongue skips here. You have a very small window of opportunity to sneak past those tongues. Ooh, and he did not. Oh no, Loch! He failed to bait the tongue into coming down, which is something that normally happens, and so he ended up running into it, which is unfortunate. Oh, Amethyst also takes a hit. These tongues can be very trolly, especially that first one, which we call the gatekeeper. People will try and sneak past it, and maybe they can't even get past it. So both of these guys having a bit of a rough go of it, unfortunately. Oh, Amethyst, he is really having trouble with this first tongue room. Might end up taking it a bit slower from here, as Lochmodana has moved on to the room with the officially named Super Mario World stabby pillar spike thingies. And these things, you can't make them go any faster, you just gotta wait and check out the awesome sprite animations that are going on. Amethyst has moved on to there as well, but he is about a room behind, and unfortunately this is a slow room to be behind on. But Lochmodana has avoided the spike pillars, and now he's on to the next obstacle, the tombstone crabs. And these guys, you'll notice that he is jumping over some tombstones and running through others. Basically, we know which tombstones have the potential to get up. Some of them will get up and some of them will stay put, but we don't know which ones, we don't know when, and we don't know which direction they'll be going when they hop up. So they're taking it safe and they are just hopping over every single potential enemy. And Lochmodana has already cleared those in very quick order, so now he's on to the kissy robots. These robots chasing Shantae down because they just want to give her a big old kiss. They really like her, they want to give her a kiss. Check out their awesome smoochy lips. Those two are almost in a hilarious situation, but they ran past each other. Amethyst is also making his way through the tombstone crab room. He had a pretty good run through there. These two are still pretty close to each other. Lochmodana has a few more crabs to deal with. So now he's coming up on the most famous enemy of the Run on Rowdy Tops section, who we affectionately call the Stevens, because our other names for it are not safe for a speed gaming stream. Amethyst verified his run. Amethyst, he did a stake jump. That's what chat is telling me, and so his run is officially verified. Which means, I believe that means he automatically wins the race, but I'm gonna have to double check the rules on that. Lochmodana makes its way through the Gates of Hell room, which is a little bit of RNG whether or not the gates are open, and for him they were unfortunately closed. But he's made it through, and he's now on the final room, which throws everything at you at once. And there is a big danger dying just at the very end of this room and sending yourself back something like 40 seconds. Ooh, Gates of Hell are closed for Amethyst as well. Neither of these two are getting a break here in Run Rowdy Tops. And in the final stretch, ooh, he makes it through a very narrow passage, and Loch is out of Run Rowdy Tops. He can finally relax. Oh, now he can relax. He jumped over the final cackleback. Amethyst still making his way through, seems to be doing just fine. Meanwhile, Lochmodana returns Lyre Tops to her house. She didn't actually need our help. She just wanted a ride. We're her Uber, more or less. Speaking of Uber, here's Poe. And he has the Ghost Wagon that can get us through Spiderweb Island without having to do that ever again, which we will use twice. Meanwhile, Amethyst, he has made his way out of Run Run Roddy Tops. He went through the final room without much trouble at all. What is a stake jump? It's a ridiculous meme where you do a jump on a certain stake of a fence or a bridge or whatever you call it, and you sort of land in an enemy, but it doesn't do damage to you if you do it right. Just jumping into the handpin and out before they kill you. There is one stake jump that saves time, and there are several stake jumps that give you lots of swag. So naturally, we have to do every single one. Well, Lochmodana, his run's unfortunately unverified, but he is ahead, and he is entering the second dungeon, the Cackle Tower. So in here, he's going to be picking up another extra key from Batgirl. Oh my goodness, he gets a super pike ball. That is a very lucky drop from those skeletons. He is going to be happy with that. Let's see if he can get any other lucky drops here. A regular pike ball. Oh, he just got the one super pike ball, but that's plenty. This Batgirl here, by defeating her, we get a key that we'll use later, and hopefully we'll also get a really, really nice drop. Oh, Pete. Oh, and Locke, he gets the perfect drop, the Super Monster Milk. That is going to be a huge time saver for him later. So well done to him. Amethyst, let's see if he can get any sort of the same luck. Well, the skeletons are not too friendly for him, but maybe the Batgirl will give him something nice. Oh, he takes a bit of damage there, and I don't think he has a pike ball to spare, so this is going to be a bit of a slower fight for him. Oh boy, his health is not in a good place, and unfortunately he doesn't get anything from the Batgirl, so in terms of the really good drops, Amethyst is now a little bit behind Locke. So he will probably have to... Hopefully RNG will make it up to him later, but if not, he might have to do a bit of gem grinding and buy some of those items to make up time. And that's unfortunately a lot slower than just being given the items. So Lochmodana, he is now going to be using that super pike ball he bought at the very beginning of the game against this next boss, the Empress Spider. Hold on, I'm having a bit of technical difficulties, but I assume that Locke is currently using his super pike ball to do lots of additional damage to the Empress Spider by just either hanging around near her side, or he is just hanging around in her hitbox in order to do lots of extra damage to her. There we go. Sorry about that difficulty. My laptop briefly lost visuals. Looks like Lochmodana did not have much trouble. Hopefully he did not use his auto potion. On the left you can see Amethyst taking out the Empress Spider. He's using a bit of a safer strat. He might be trying to get into that hitbox, but it's not an easy thing to do. If you whip right after you jump, you get your jumps refilled basically. So it's risky because you lose a lot of health, but you can continually damage the Empress Spider much faster than you could otherwise. Lochmodana, meanwhile, Amethyst is done with the Empress Spider, keeps his auto potion, that's handy. And Lochmodana is now on Tanline Island, where a lot of potential drops can happen, so he could see some great RNG, he could see some terrible RNG. This could make a difference in the run. So we're going to see what his plan is with all that money he's holding on to, because he's holding on to a lot of money right now.
Pirate Flare activated.
In all likelihood, if he is going to be returning to Scuttletown shortly to do another shopping trip. In the meantime, he just met up with the Squid Baron, came to the beach, but the beach was closed, so he gave us the X-ray specs that he was going to use at the beach, and we will be using them for a much more wholesome purpose. Yep, here we go. Lochmodana has moved on to Scuttletown, and he's going shopping. So what's he going to buy? I'm guessing some pirate flares. Oh, he's just buying some pirate flares. He's going to hold on to some of that money of his for a later date. Amethyst picks up a bubble shield. That's an important drop to have. You need at least one of those. 2 is better. After that, you're really just showing off. Ooh, and Amethyst picks up a super monster milk by taking out one of these Scorp gals. These Scorpion ladies, they are some of the best enemies in the game because they're guaranteed to drop something. It's either 5 gems, a super pike ball, or a super monster milk. So attacking them is... it can be a very valuable use of your time if you're lucky. Meanwhile, we missed Lochmodana on his end. After he went shopping, he did a bit of murdering, and he killed Sky's new boyfriend, Barracuda Joe, but he also got a piece of the combination to enter the next major area, Tanline Temple. Amethyst, for his part, he ended up going to Saliva Island before going to Scuttletown, so it's going to look for a minute that these two are closer than they are. No trouble with the mermaid room. Amethyst had a bit of a struggle, ouch, climbing up this one area. Also right there, you can see them whipping into the walls. There's because there are some hidden gems in the walls. And that's apparently all I have to say about that. Lochmodana, he has returned to Tanline Island after going to Saliva Island, and he picks up another bubble. Stop with the bubble shields. You're showing off now. You don't need that many. Amethyst, for his part, is moving on, and he is going to have to go back to school. Ooh, he got some things. Ooh, at least a super pike ball. That's very good to see. Text boxes were going a bit too fast to tell. This Amethyst, he gets a glitched entry into Sky's place, which is always fun to see. What else is Locke going to pick up here? A whole bunch of regular pike balls, which are all helpful. So now he has the complete combination fish, lion, hippo. Chat, you have a responsibility. Remember this combination. There is going to be a quiz later. So Lochmodana now has the full combination in his hand, as Amethyst does some purchasing, and he uses many more gems than Locke did, so he picked up some more items. There we go. And Locke has made his way into the temple, as Amethyst is going to try his luck with the skeletons. What sort of drops we getting? It's unclear. What we do know is that on Locke's side, he's been captured, he's dressed up like Princess Leia, and he's entering Metal Gear Shantae, which is the slow-plotting stealth section of the run. So if he gets caught anywhere in here by these guards, he is going to be sent back to his prison cell, and he's going to have to do this entire stealth section again. There is a way to get past this room a little bit faster, but it's very risky and very precise, and I don't blame him for not trying. Amethyst, for his part, he got a super pike ball. So that is a nice drop to have. So he's sitting on a super pike ball and a super monster milk, I think. So Lochmodana is now going to show off the amazing eyesight of these guards. And just walk right on past them. Because she's slightly in shadow, Shantae cannot be seen. He doesn't take the quick route through the room, which I don't blame him for, because it's very risky. But you can see right there, Shantae was just directly in that guard's line of sight. And he didn't see her, because all of these guards are required to fail a vision test before they are allowed to work here. So he is out of the stealth section just as Amethyst enters into it. And now we're going to see why... Oh my goodness, Amethyst! He does the incredibly tricky strat. He whips that guard, he gets him to turn around, and he gets a quick one cycle through that room, saving himself about 7 seconds. Oh no! Oh no! He gets the really good strat, and then he fails the easier strat. Oh, isn't that just how it goes? That's really unfortunate. But that was still very baller, so everyone in chat, please give him a hand. Meanwhile, Lochmodana, if you were watching him, he just unlocked 3 rooms using some of the keys that he had picked up earlier in the run from these extra dungeons. This is what he was stockpiling keys for, so he could skip a huge amount of this very slow section of the game. And he's all done with it. So now he gets the golden pickaxe. And all of the captured girls, who look exactly like this big old statue here, can go free. So now Lochmodana is going to continue on making his way to the next dungeon as Amethyst tries to get out of the stealth section. Amethyst freezes at it. Oh, he does a risky jump over that last guard, but he makes it and he's out. So now he gets to go through and rescue the other captured girls. Basically, in their princess, their long-lost princess of maybe 30 minutes, went and disappeared. And so in the past 30 minutes, they found 4 other girls to be replacement princesses, who of course look exactly like her. And so that's why everyone has to escape. Because they don't seem to treat princesses very well around here. Meanwhile, Lochmodana, he is in the 3rd dungeon, the Lost Catacombs, and he's making his way down through this really annoying block room. And this room can be a huge pain because of these cactus enemies who can give you a hard time, even knock you into those spikes, which is the worst. There is another route here which involves getting an extra key so that you don't have to pick up a slightly slower one later, but it looks like Loch didn't go for it. What's he gonna get from these Scorp Gals? A Super Monster Milk, very nice. And another Super Monster Milk. Look at that luck. Oh, by the way, the princess was at the store. They needed some bread. So she went to the store, and 4 ladies got kidnapped. Just a normal Saturday in Waco, Texas. So while Amethyst makes his way to the dungeon, Lochmodana, he's going to be using up some of his... Oh, he is going all out. He's using a Super Monster Milk and a Super Pike Ball on this Squid Baron, who is our midway point of the run, basically. So with all of these items on hand, he should get the fight that we're looking for. Basically, he wants to defeat the Squid Baron before he does a certain attack. Oh, and he's having a little bit of trouble here. Nope, but he manages it through the strength of his items. Well done to him. Basically, you want... The Squid Baron operates on a set script. He will dash, he'll jump, he'll dash, and then he'll do what he's about to do here, which is eat. And you want him to be in the eating phase during the second phase of the fight, because that's when you can get a huge amount of damage on him really easily for free. And wow, look at that incredibly fast fight from Lochmodana. Very well done. Just obliterated that poor Squid Baron. He was all exploding, but don't worry, the Squid Baron's fine. He just exploded a little bit, you know how it is. Amethyst gets himself another bubble shield going through the block room. That's a fortunate drop. So Lochmodana, he is going to head back to Scuttletown now in order to pick up another plot crucial item that will let him enter the next area. Let's see what sort of drops Amethyst can get from these Scorp Gals. Some gems to start out, not great. But he gets a Super Monster Milk too. So now let's see if he can do what Lochmodana did. Let's see if he can get this Crusher skip. Oh no, he got a little too close to the wall. He walked into the wall. Oh no, and Lochmodana, he's realizing that he needed to go to Scuttletown. That has killed many a run, accidentally going to Mudbog before you should. Luckily, he realized his mistake early and didn't have to use one of his pirate flares on the way out. Amethyst swagging his way into the boss. And I think he's also going all out, so we should see another quick fight here on the left. Lochmodana, oh, and he's doing some shopping here too. He really forgot. He gets a couple of pirate flares and a couple of super pike balls. I thought he had plenty of super pike balls, but it seems not. It looks like Amethyst, he also got the Squid Baron cycle he wanted, so he's going to have a pretty quick fight. Has any speedrunning race ever given plus-minus time for swag tricks? None that I've seen, but that's a pretty interesting idea. Lochmodana, he is now going through Mudbog Island, which is just a nightmare if you're playing it casually, because there are a ton of enemies, they do a huge amount of damage. Luckily, we can dash through it all with invincibility frames here in pirate mode, and it goes by very quick. But if you ever miss your dash and you get stopped somewhere, you can really take a beating if you fail in the wrong place. But he's fine. Amethyst is out of the dungeon, and Lochmodana is about to enter the Village of Lost Souls. He will never escape for at least 5 minutes. No, Lochmodana, he takes a little bit of a bonk. Unfortunate. But you can see right there, I think that is the first use of an animation skip in this run. He jumped onto the item, and as he landed on the ground, he ate a food item. And what that does is, before the item get animation can play, it plays the food eat animation over it, which is much faster, and so you save several seconds by doing this. This is why getting random food items is really important in this run. Amethyst, he's now taking off on Mudbog Island. Oh, and he immediately bonks. That's unfortunate. He's going to try and pick his dash back up. Lochmodana getting slightly trolled by ghosts. He is low on health. This is a dangerous, dangerous place to be low on health. You do not want to lose your auto potion to ghosts. He picks up a little bit more money as he grabs the final coin. So you probably noticed, if you've been watching this stream that you're listening to, that Lochmodana has picked up 3 colorful coins on his way through. Ooh, and he's saving. That's a smart idea. He's picked up 3 colorful coins on his way through the Village of Lost Souls. He's going to play a very mystical, skill-based game as he goes through. Ooh, ghost. Oh, wow. He narrowly avoids all the ghosts. Well done. And so now we get to see how he fares at heads or tails. See what sort of luck he gets. Tails. Alright, that's actually not too bad. What you need to do is basically guess correctly whether the coin is heads or tails 3 times in a row. And it really is that simple. It's just RNG, but if you fail it 3 times in a row, you will always pass the 4th time. And so Lochmodana had a pretty good go of it. He failed 3 times as quickly as he possibly could, which gets him very quickly to the winning cycle. So that's not a lot of time lost. So he picks up the Hopeful Flame. And so now Terry Crews is here. He gets the Manly Musk. So now that he smells like a mutant buffalo, he can enter the 4th dungeon, the Oubliette of Suffering. Amethyst on his side, he also did an animation skip, getting that red coin. Good for him. So I just realized I said Terry Crews because of the Old Spice reference, not because of the color of that mystical man or anything. Please understand. So Lochmodana is now in the Oubliette of Suffering, which is a dungeon that is just broken to pieces by a trick that we've seen many times, but I've never really explained until now. This trick is the risky shuffle. Basically, under normal circumstances, you would need to walk for a certain distance in a straight line in order to build up a dash. But by using both the D-pad and the control stick together, you can trick the game into think you're walking forward when you're moving back and forth in place, and so you can dash on a dime. And so that's what they did just now to skip the big all-encompassing dungeon puzzle and get right to the boss, Dagron, which he's going all out for. He's used Super Monster Milk and a Super Pike Ball. He's going to try and take this boss down as soon as possible. He gets one knockdown. He failed to get the first knockdown, but it's not a big deal. He should take the boss down now. Ooh, just a little bit short on damage. Oh, he was one hit short. Oh, isn't that how it goes? But Lochmodana, he gets rid of Dagron in pretty short order. That is a boss that can troll you very hard if it wants to, but Loch has no real trouble at all. Amethyst, you can see him doing a risky shuffle on his way into the dungeon. And we'll be able to get another look at the puzzle that they're skipping in just a minute. Meanwhile, Lochmodana has to physically leave the Village of Lost Souls because the game considers it inside and he can't use a Pirate Flare inside. On Amethyst's side, you can see those 3 cages. What you're supposed to do is line them all up horizontally so you can walk across it, do a risky dash or whatever it's called, and make your way to the boss. But because of the risky shuffle, you can just automatically go right through that block and go right to the boss. Lochmodana, he is now out. And so he's going to be moving on to the final dungeon, to the final island, Frostbite Island, as Amethyst takes on Dagron, also using a Super Monster Milk and a Super Pike Ball. So he's going ham, and he's gotten just barely misses the 2 cycle. Fires off a pistol shot because why not? Get a bit closer, Dagron. There we go. So that was a little bit unfortunate that he missed a couple cycles there, but honestly, the 2 had very comparable boss fights. So Lochmodana, he is dashing and jumping all over Frostbite Island right now. He's ignoring the wolves. Have a very small chance of dropping crucial items. But the chance is small enough that if you've had good RNG like Loch has, you don't really need to hit him, so he's not bothering to waste that time. Except for that one wolf. That wolf knows what he did. That wolf had it coming. So now he's going to head up these chains. Is he going to take any damage? He is not. So now he's entering Propeller Town, which is very similar to Frostbite Island in that you basically run and jump and dash and hover over. And if you do it well, you go very fast to zoom zoom. Lochmodana is using a very large amount of fasts here in this area. You can see he takes a little bit of a... he's having trouble with this risky shuffle, but it's okay. He's abandoning the idea. He's just going to walk the rest of the way, which is fine. You can see that during these dashes, you can like run and fly directly through enemies, through spikes. Basically, the risky dash, it gives you full invincibility. So long as you continue to dash, you can walk on spikes, you can walk through enemies, and you will be perfectly fine. There you go. Yep, Locke is not... He had a little bit of trouble in that one room, but it didn't amount to a whole lot of time loss, so should be just fine. He is very nearly done. We just have to go and talk to the perennial screw-up, Bolo, who's got this targeting module he wants to give to the Techno Baron for story reasons that we've basically been skipping this entire time. Because look how fast these two are going. You can't keep up with that. I'm realizing now just how much money Amethyst is currently sitting on. He's definitely planning another shop, and it looks like Locke is too. I wonder what they are going to buy. Maybe more pirate flares. In any case, Lochmodana, he has to go back to Spiderweb Island, because at the end of the Village of Lost Souls, once he was all done with the dungeon, he got a lost soul. And so now, oh, poor Amethyst. He hits a spike, and so he's got to do this room over again. That's maybe 10 seconds or so lost. Anyway, that lost soul, turns out it is the spirit of Sky's dead boyfriend, Barracuda Joe. You can tell because no one else has a mustache that sick and awesome. So that's all we had to do here. So Lochmodana is going to be heading back to Scuttletown. He's got more things to do. He's going to Saliva Island. Nope, he's leaving. He just wanted a break, I suppose. No, it's just an accidental input, I'm sure. Might have been hammering that button. Yep, he's at the store. Let's see what he's going to buy. Buying a Pyro Flare. He's buying a potion. He's buying a Super Monster Milk. That's a pretty solid shopping trip. The potions, they can be used in the same way as food to skip animations and save some time. Locke carefully missing the heart squid of shame. It is possible to accidentally land on that platform and accidentally pick up a heart squid, and we are required by law to endlessly shame them for their transgression. Lochmodana, he is talking to this mysterious buff guy. And it's legally distinct Chinese ripoff He-Man, also known as Grandson. Lochmodana, unfortunately, not getting a Nutbuster, so this run is invalidated all over. So anyway, we've got Joe's spirit back. So let's just shove it back into his body, I think through the nose. And he's back to life. As the world turns. So Lochmodana is pretty much done with Scuttletown. He's done all 3 of the fetch quest elements he needed to do. And so now he can accidentally blow up the Techno Baron and open the way to the final dungeon. Amethyst, what's he picking up? He's picking up some Silky Cream. That's an interesting choice. He was going to try and get some heavy DPS on the next boss, it looks like. So Lochmodana, he's now got he's got a non-trivial lead over Amethyst right now, but he's coming up against one of the more annoying bosses, the Steel Maggot, the Great Equalizer. So this could really not go well for him. I don't think he even tried an animation skip there. He's probably going to use it on another key coming up. Amethyst also potentially missing a Nutbuster here.
Flare activated.
Oh, that's right. I don't think either runner got the key in the Lost Catacombs, so they're going to climb up to where Locke currently is, and they're going to get that key from up there. It is a little bit slower if you get the other key correctly, but it's not that big of a deal. It's a valid routing choice if you want to do that. And Locke picking up the very last key here. It's interesting. I think he bought a potion. I feel like he bought a potion for the purposes of skipping an animation. Maybe he's going to use it on the map. We'll see. But in any case, we're about to see the final boss, the not the final boss. The boss of the final dungeon, the Steel Maggot. And the way to defeat Steel Maggot is to hop up over his back and to use your cannon to hit the buttons on his back in the correct order. What is the correct order, you ask? That's a very good question. We don't know. We never really know until we figure it out, as Locke just has. Right there, that RNG is not too bad. The ideal RNG, of course, is 1, 2, 3, which is exactly that. That is exactly what Locke wanted right there, and I think he is going to get, yes, a nice, easy 2-cycle, a very quick Steel Maggot for Locke. And so now, going into the final stretch of the game, he's got a pretty commanding lead. Like this, they've always been pretty close, and they're still fairly close, but now there's so little time left in the run that Amethyst is really going to have to work for this. Oh, Locke, he picked up a potion. I could have sworn he picked up a potion, but he doesn't seem to have used it. Yeah, he notices the potion is still there. Maybe that's just insurance against the final boss, but he still... I don't know. It's possible it is insurance. So I don't think I saw... Oh, no, Amethyst. That is something that can happen very randomly. As you're going through and dashing, you can get randomly squished by that particular ice block. It's random, it's very annoying. It's why I tend to go below that conveyor belt rather than above it. So Amethyst is going to face off against the Steel Maggot as Locke accidentally awakens the root of all evil. Way to go, Locke. Thanks for that. Ooh, Amethyst is not having a good pattern here against the Steel Maggot. Oh, and he's having trouble hitting the button he wants to. This is, but he manages to get the rest of it pretty well. So, ooh, oh, and that's very fortunate. Oh man, that could have been really bad. If you do not start damaging the Steel Maggot right away, he starts just leaving of his own accord. But he really fell in such a way that a pike bot hit the Steel Maggot's weak spot, and he just stopped dead, allowing Amethyst to get in some damage. But he did miss a lot of that first cycle, unfortunately. And so it's going to be very tough for him to finish the Steel Maggot off in this cycle. I don't know if it can be done. Yeah, I think he's going to have to go for another cycle. That's really unfortunate. Locke, meanwhile, is now attempting the climb. Which is where, basically, you've got this tower, and normally in casual play, it's full of challenges that are really slow and very annoying to speedrun. So we figured out a way to use the cannon and the hat together to do some very precise jumps and skip past this entire area. But basically, when you deploy the hat, you get a very small amount of pixels in height, and combine that with cannon shots, and that is just enough to make your way past the challenge doors. Lochmodana, I don't think he dropped a single one of those. He's having an extremely good run right now. And as Amethyst leaves the final island, Lochmodana is about to face off against the Pirate Master. So the Pirate Master is very dangerous because he does a huge amount of damage, and then unfortunately it does look like Lochmodana lost his auto potion when my screen went black. And so if he takes too much damage, he did not save before this fight, his run would be over. And Amethyst would be the... Oh no! Oh my goodness, Locke forgot to use a bubble shield. Oh no, that's the worst! Oh, Locke, I am so sorry. That's so painful. Oh, just a tiny slip of the mind, a tiny little mistake. Oh boy. So that's really, really unfortunate. And it looks like I accidentally exited out of this channel. So it looks like Lochmodana, he did not save before the final fight. That is it for his run. It appears that he is going to forfeit this. That is murderous. If Amethyst does the same, do we rerun it? That's a good question. I guess they would have to rerun it. That's super unfortunate. I am very sorry. So let's see how Amethyst does with this climb. Looks like Amethyst is having pretty good climb right here. He's got one more of these to go, and he pulls it off correctly. So let's see, is Amethyst going to make a similar mistake? And we'll end up in a completely ridiculous situation? I guess we are about to find out. Amethyst did not save, but he did use a bubble shield, and he does have an auto potion. So I give him pretty good odds against the Pirate Master. Let's see what he's going to do here. He's doing it some short hops here, which short hopping, it lets you get out of one of your whip animations faster, and it lets you do a very slight amount of additional damage. Ooh, he gets a bit of a knockback there. And he's, oh, he used up his auto potion, but I think he's going to be fine. He can't take that much more damage here. I think this is going to be it for the Pirate Master. Oh my goodness! Oh, wow. I was not expecting this. Is that a double forfeit? I can't believe what just happened. It looks like, yeah, it looks like Amethyst is done. He's reset his timer. That is amazing. Oh my goodness. So, I guess, insert Price is Right losing horn here. So I think this is a race that's going to have to be rescheduled. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know if either of these racers are interested in an interview after that. I know Locke was not too eager after his loss, but things are slightly different now. Yes, the commentator is broken. I have no reaction for this. It's like a double over on The Price is Right. So alright, looks like Amethyst is going to be joining us, at least. Amethyst, my dude. I don't think this was the right channel.
Hello?
Hello, am I there?
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, that's right, I think I'm in the wrong channel. Alright, there we go. I think that might have done it.
Hello?
Hey, so, how about that ending, man? What do you think?
I can't say I've done that before.
Yeah, that's a first for me to see, certainly. And, oh man, both of you right at the very end on the final boss.
Yep.
So, well, what did you think of the run before that? How are you feeling about that run?
I don't know. for like the last half of my airs and then run. Not doing too hot here. I think I was 3 minutes behind going into Pyromaster, so
Yeah, it was Locke did have a bit of a lead. Speaking of Locke, hey man,
Hey.
what do you think?
So how about the Mets? Those are pretty good. Pretty good team, right? Oh, that was interesting.
That was really, I did not expect that. I did not expect either of those, honestly. Locke, I mean,
I have a question.
really,
Did you notice that I hadn't used the bubble shield when I used the items? Did you?
I did not notice. I didn't realize it until you suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing that happened to me. I was like, wait a second, why'd I die? I had a bubble shield on. And then I thought back and realized I didn't.
yeah.
Wow.
I looked over at the SRL room and I'm like, oh, he forfeit. I wonder what happened this time.
This time, how very nice.
There you go.
And-
Now we are an official race. We got Shantae kicked from speed gaming, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yep, we're never getting this again. We've been banned from SGDQ as well. Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Oh, no.
Anytime.
All right, so I mean, this is kind of an inconclusive result. You guys have one more day. You're gonna try this again?
I don't know.
I have a tough time doing it tomorrow, but I have time right now.
I definitely can't do it right now, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
It's okay. I'll just do a run, and if I beat your PB, then I win the race.
Yeah, that seems fair.
I don't know what the official ruling is. I would guess that it would, if you can't rerun the race, it would both be forfeit times for each of you, which I think is your PB plus 5 minutes.
I think we should just both win.
Both
Yeah.
win?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's fair. You guys, you both got an A for effort here.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely true.
All right, so I mean, yeah. Any other live reactions from these two stunned runners right here?
No.
This game sucks. Why doesn't it just auto-equip bubble shield?
Yeah,
It's
man.
ridiculous.
I don't know what they were thinking when they programmed that.
Yeah.
Amethyst, any final thoughts on that?
No, I don't really know what to think about that.
No thoughts whatsoever.
It's-
We are
yeah,
all at
it's-
a bit of a loss for words here.
Yeah.
But still, good run for both of you. Both of you were doing quite well up until the end. So
Up until
Yeah,
the part
but-
where it was bad, it was good.
yeah, the bad parts were bad, but the good parts were quite good. So congrats on the good parts, and shame on you for the bad parts.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. You can just say I suck, though. That's also fair.
All right, so you heard it here first, people. Locke sucks.
Yeah. I can take that.
No, we don't. No, we love you both. Thank you so much for running this race, giving us this.
You know what?
great
Now this
competition.
tournament has seen it all.
This tournament has, yeah. I think that we've run the
You've
gamut.
had people lose. You just got to find a way to have 2 people win in one race, and then we're done.
That's true. I'm gonna work with JT on that. And as soon as
There you go.
we're done, we can just shut speed gaming down forever.
Mhm. I
Okay.
don't think they'd be too happy about that. All right. Thank you for
Perfect.
commentating that race.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you both for racing that race. So,
problem.
speaking of speed gaming, we don't actually want speed gaming shut down. Speed gaming is great. So, if you can, please do what you can to support speed gaming. You can donate directly with PayPal. You can subscribe to them on Twitch. Even with your Twitch Prime sub won't cost you a penny. You can subscribe on Patreon, or you can shop on Amazon with their referral code, which will give them a bit of cash. And so do that. Do one of those things if you love speed gaming and you want to see it continue. Please support speed gaming here and around the world. But for right now, support it here. So thank you very much to both of our runners. Thank you to everyone for watching. Thank you to the universe for organizing that stunning turn of events. And I see we have at least, right now we have only one more race on the schedule. It might be the last race of the group bracket stage, but it's going to be a very exciting one because both of our SGDQ runners, Tina Hacks and JT Norimaki, will be racing each other tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern Time, giving you a preview of games done quick. So everyone tune in for that, for what is sure to be a very exciting, intense race. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I've been the Sound Defense, and I will see you guys next time.